into the lives of the apostles today, Jesus tells them to feed those 5,000 people, not counting all the women and the children that were gathered there. And the reaction of the disciples, they must have looked at Jesus and said, "Are you out of your mind? We can't possibly feed all of these people. Send them away. Send them back to their homes and to the villages, and they can take care of themselves." What does it say? Jesus was moved with pity. He was moved with compassion. That compassion touched the very gut of his life. And he looked out at that crowd, and knowing each of them by name, because he was the Son of God, knowing each of them by name, that empathy, he shared their concerns. He shared the issues that they brought with them. Each of them, a multitude of people. Just imagine the concerns. When we listen to that gospel, there's three things that we probably have difficulty with today as followers of Jesus. First of all, we become very skeptical because we live in a world that we see is absolutely flat. We recognize the difficulties. We recognize the difficulties in each and every family, and somehow we really do not trust that God can take what is and through us transform it into what can be. And so we look at the world with that skepticism. We look at our neighbor with that skepticism. We look at our future with skepticism, not trusting our God. Secondly, we've lost the sense of mission within our church many times and with our churches. We don't recognize that God can do so much with so little, but we have to have the conviction as Christians. We have to have the conviction as Roman Catholics that we can do so much more when God places those needs within our hands and when God works through us. And thirdly, when there's fear. Fear surrounds us. The other day, I don't know if you noticed, the stock market dropped. Fear touches the lives of many people because they lack the resources. Or it seems as though we lack the resources. We don't have enough. There's not enough to share. There's not enough to give. And so I always remember my grandmother, when I used to take her to the grocery store, she would always count out her pennies on the counter. And somehow it seems like we do that. We count on our pennies. We don't have enough. We're diminished. But it disempowers us as a church. It disempowers us as followers of Jesus. It disempowers us as the apostles of today's world. And without that power, we look at Jesus and what do we say? Well, maybe Jesus should have maybe he should walk in our shoes. Well, he did walk in our shoes. He took on our flesh. He understood what it was not to have enough. He understood what it meant to be skeptical of the future. He wasn't sure about his future, but what did he have to do? He had to place his trust in God. He wasn't sure of his mission. What did he have to do? He placed his trust in God. He was overwhelmed many times at the tremendous need and in fear. Remember when he was in the Garden of Gethsemane? He was fearful of what was going to happen to his life. What did he have to do? He had to trust the Lord. And as I said, when he was on that cross, he understood very well, and I've told you many times, it just wasn't a bad hair day. It was a bad day. But what did he have to do? Into your hands, O Lord, I put my spirit. So what would happen if we placed our trust in God each and every day? If every one of us placed our trust in God, and if we allowed God to take what God gives us, maybe even if it's only 5 loaves and 2 fish, but in our hands and with the power of God, we can be the miracle for this world. We can be the miracle for our families. We can be the miracle for our community. We can be the miracle for a peaceful world, a just world, a calm world, and one where everyone is fed and everyone has enough. But we have to be willing to share. It's only when we're willing to share that the Lord can put in our hands what we need. And then it's amazing. We become the miracle. We become the miracle of God. Walking into our homes, walking into our community, and feeding those who are in need, and taking care of those who are fearful, and helping those who are sick, welcoming those who are strangers. That's the miracle of the loaves and the fish. That's the miracle that is entrusted to us. Because what did Jesus say? Give them something yourselves. God bless you.